Alright folks, welcome back. Today we are hunting elk. Actually, the star of the show, Rod Settlemeyer, is hunting elk. Archery season 2021 out here in central-ish Wyoming on public land. Beautiful day, probably a little bit too beautiful. It's in the 80s. We probably got a 20-mile-an-hour wind and the sun is up. Blue skies, just a gorgeous day. We are kind of a little bit in a drought though, so it's very dry, very hot conditions. So hopefully we can find some elk on public land. Hopefully they're not just hugging agricultural water and watering troughs on private. But out here nonetheless, hopefully we find some.
Stick it straight up there on the one.
So we drove around the corner and busted these elk out of a little wallow or creek. Sorry for the shakiness, I'm freehanding. 100 yards. Nah, he's about 120 right now.
There's another one bugling up the draw.
I'd probably just ditch this thing right out here and then hike. Hope you could catch him, circle around him the other side. Alright, so we saw those elk, but we blew them. But we heard another one bugling, so we're hiking in to try and call that one in. Let's go. Sounded like maybe something way over there, but nothing.
So I'm kinda...
He's relaxed. Alright, so he's chasing these elk all over the place. We got him one herd, and they went away from us. But we got on another herd. This one, unfortunately, is just across on the private boundary. But we might be able to call something in. He's behind the trees, just wait. He's coming out. He's trying to wind us. He's a 6x6. He's trying to wind us.
Where is he?
To the left, in the clearing, to the left, to the left, to the left. came. This bull was way up on this ridge, way back there, probably a mile, maybe not quite. It came back down to fight another bull down here. We worked around. We accidentally blew the smaller bull that he was coming to fight. Rod started bugling. He came in on a line right through into this gully, right down here, but then instead of coming directly below, he came up and around to wind us, and he actually had to shoot him 15 yards. I could have wheeled the camera around, but I've never hunted this much with him, and I didn't want to screw up his bull, and this is a really good 6x6. So I just literally hit the deck so that he could shoot around me. We were right next to each other, so it's still safe, but
Oh, that's good stuff.
hell yeah, man, come on. Right, so this bull came on a line, then it started to circle us. I was gonna get great footage because he was coming right below us at like 30 yards, but instead he went to wind us. And he came and circled around, and I was kind of in his way. So I hit the deck, and I didn't turn the camera, but I could hear this bull. It sounded like it was gonna step on me.
Oh yeah.
It was like 15 yards. As soon as I heard him let his arrow go, I turned, and this thing was running. He nailed it. I mean, it was perfect lower third, but still high out of the brisket. I mean, it was a perfect shot. So I'm sure it's a dead bull.
I'm sure.
And it's going towards the side by side.
I love that part.
So hopefully he just dies right on the road.
It's so sweet.
And I've never taken a bull that big. He's the bull slayer. This guy's taken 30 bulls or 30 elk. 30 elk. But in only one year in the last, like, how many have you not gotten elk?
1 out of the 30.
1 out of the 30. So I mean, I've gotten, I think, 7 elk in 6 years, I think. So that's pretty good for a beginner, learning on my own. But man, this is how I learned, though. So, but this bull was looking for a fight. When he was cow calling, it was interested, but he wanted a fight. He was coming into a bugle, and he was coming. This other bull jumped his fence, and he wanted it. He was coming after him to fight him. And it's funny because he doesn't have any cows. Neither one had cows that I can find.
And they were bugling like crazy. And I think the thermals had switched and it started heading uphill, and I think that worked to our advantage. Yeah, well, the thermals are going down, I think, now because it's cooling. No, I'm feeling them going back up.
Oh yeah. I mean, not that. Let's just. Yeah. But either way, the wind could not have been more right. Like, the wind was our friend the whole way in, and this is a little miracle on a day like today, I feel like. But I'm doing all the talking. I didn't even shoot the thing.
That's all right. I think the excitement's gonna be when we put our hands on him. The first
elk I ever shot was with him, and it was funny because it's probably the only day in 2 years I'd even hunted with somebody, and he was my gun rest. I literally rested a rifle off his back and shot like 6 times. It was his ears must have been deaf, but so this time he shot over me with the crossbow.
This is only.
All right, so some time's elapsed. We've given him some time. It's gonna get dark quick, so we're gonna go after him. It looked like literally a perfect shot. He's using a PSE Fang 350 crossbow, which is legal in the state of Wyoming. I didn't even know there was a trail to the left of us. See any blood? Oh my gosh, there he is, right there. He didn't even make it 100. Well, go up there and he's right there. He didn't even make it 200 yards. And he's on the trail back to the vehicle. And he is dead. I knew that was a perfect shot. Go get your bull. Holy, he is dead. Oh my gosh. This is a monster. He's dead on the trail back. Oh, I knew that was a perfect shot. See, I get this excited just when I shoot him, and then I get even more excited when I find him. He's got some he's a fighter, man. This thing was not coming into cow calls. He would only come into bugles. Oh my gosh, he's broken off all over because, man, that is a fighter.
Yeah, he broke off his fifth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he is a 5x6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's a 5x6, but probably was a 6x6. But that is a beauty. You want to get behind him a little more? Look at this, and healthy looking bull too. Good body on him. It's going to be some good meat. Oh my gosh. Look at that monster. So,
let's see if we can pull him down.
How, out of all your biggest bulls, where's this one probably rank?
In the top 10. But
in the top 10? He'd be the biggest if I got him.
One of the deadest.
Well, and he died in a good spot. So let's get carving.
Yep, it's time.
Public land too, guys.
Sweet. Did not expect this. Oh my gosh.
He was the biggest one out of everyone we saw, in my opinion.
Do you still have it running?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go walk to the road.
There's the road.
I'm on the road.
There's the bull. And so we saw 3 bulls tonight, and he was, in my opinion, he was the biggest. There might have been one that still had his 6th point, but I don't think he was as heavy. So I think this was the most mature one, in my opinion. But I think the other one maybe had a 6 point, but he was younger, and he had the cows with him. This one didn't have any cows, and neither did the one he was going to fight. But this thing was a fighter. He's broken off on his mane. What is that? Look at all this. So he's broken off here. That's an older break from earlier in the season. This is a really more recent break. This thing must have been fighting hard. This is broke. This is broke. That's chipped. Yeah, I mean, this thing is spectacular. I've never been this close to a live bull actually in archery. But awesome job.
Thank you, man. Had a blast. Thanks for being here.